to Amaka Intellectual Factory, where I host podcasts and many other interesting stuff. Hey, we made it through part 1 of 2, and here we are with part 2 of 2. And you know what? If you haven't already listened to part 1 of 2, please feel free to go back and listen to part 1 of 2 so that when you're listening to part 2 of 2, you're able to follow through with the train of thought in this beautiful article that I wrote for your entertainment and education. Anyways, without much ado, let's dive right in. At this point, the host has a major problem. The more the people around project their affection to the energy vampire, the more the people around start to develop resentment for the host. Thus why I say the host starts to diminish while the energy vampire elevates. This diminishing of the host and elevation of the energy vampire continues to perpetrate until it reaches a climax. This climax could be any of multiple outcomes that could turn out in favor of the host or the energy vampire. Now we have before us a movie blockbuster-like situation where the host is the protagonist and the energy vampire is the antagonist because the energy vampire is heavily invested in the diminished state of the host. Sometimes it is so extreme that any attempt of the host to recover from the energy vampirism could deal a fatal blow to the energy vampire. The host could recover their life force from the energy vampire, benefiting from close proximity to the host by distancing themselves and ending familiarity with the energy vampire in such a way the people around can see it. With regard to the energy vampire perpetrating the false narrative of an intimate relationship with the host can overtly let people know that they have no relationship with the energy vampire. In fact, they never had a relationship with the energy vampire. Still on this, the host can further separate themselves from the energy vampire. But the real icing on the cake is when the host starts dating other people, and the people around can see that the host is dating other people, either through hookups or a stable relationship with a person with integrity. These are the two possible scenarios where the host wins this war that these energy vampires have waged on them. Now, the situation where the climax leads to the energy vampire winning is a lot darker because it does not end well for the host. The host could suffer a mental breakdown, financial losses, go homeless, develop dangerous addictions, lose opportunities, or actually die. When the energy vampire realizes they can no longer leech off of the host's life force, they start to look for a way to hurt the host, including murder. If this is not possible, the energy vampire starts to look for another host. We need to understand the mindset of the people around who are projecting the affection they have for the host to the energy vampire. This will typically take place among a people who are given to mob mentality or a hive mind. They are more comfortable with a higher authority over them, giving them instructions on how to behave as opposed to acting independently. A lot of them honestly feel threatened when they encounter people different from them, while some of them get excited when they encounter people with a sparkling or vivacious personality. They become full of love and admiration for that bubbly person. But they also fear that person and would prefer to ask people closest to the host about the host rather than speak to the host directly and get to know them better. The host in this scenario is usually egalitarian, which is in direct contrast to the hive mind of these people. How then do you protect yourself when you are the host in this situation? First of all, understand that neither the people around nor the potential energy vampires are healthy-minded people. The safest guard is to get away from that environment. If you cannot do it immediately, it has to be something you strategically plan for in the not-so-distant future. Another cautionary advice I would give is to ensure that nobody gets so close to you that the both of you become known to be hanging out with each other. Unfortunately, there are gonna be lots of gossips and lies about you as long as you remain in that unhealthy environment, and there is nothing you can do about it. You will not be able to plead your case among this type of people. In fact, if you try to people please them, you will only end up depleting your peace of mind and life force that you are trying so hard to guard. The only guard against energy vampires and their enablers, for that is what these people around the energy vampire and the host are, is absolute separation. If you cannot achieve it immediately, strategically work towards achieving it in the not-so-distant future. Now, luckily for us, not everybody has a mob or hive mind. There are still a lot of good, decent, and fun people in this world, and we must actively seek to be among such people in order to enjoy the beauty of life, while at the same time safeguarding our life force. The end of part 2 of 2. So there you have it, everyone. That is the end of the article. As always, you're more than welcome to share your opinions, start a conversation. I will join you. Go to the comment section and let me know what you think. Okay? Well, that's all I have to say for now. Until next time, take care of your lovely selves. And remember, life is beautiful and worth living.